It finally happened. Our first 7 Days to Die Alpha 21 dev stream has come and gone. This means the Fun Pimps are actually nearing release, something most of us thought would have hit by November last year. They did chat about the date and it is closer than I expected. However, we know we can't put any real truth into these predictions. Things go wrong, updates create bugs, and so you need to work them out. But we will get into that a little bit later. We have lots of juicy confirmed additions to the game that the devs mentioned, so let us take a look. First up, they added over 300 new high-definition models. As we moved through the game, there were many to see, and they said they would do a deeper dive in the next dev stream or following one. However, as we moved through the different POIs and traders, we certainly could see many of the new models. The new workbench and the forge are certainly a step up from the old ones. They also said they plan to make sure that when you upgrade your workbenches with tools or additional items, so the workbench will also show that particular upgrade. In the case of the forge, if the anvil was added, then the anvil would show in that particular upgraded model. They also showed off countless new doors, prison doors, commercial doors, double doors, even elevator doors.
Big drawage doors with switches, and it's
prison doors, new
commercial doors.
There's multiple colors.
Monster closet doors that are way better. There's wardrobes that open up.
Great.
Yeah,
they're kind of small, like different sizes. Those are super. Show him the roll. Oh, yeah, there's shutters, I think.
Destruction, the hole's kind of designed to kind of be in an area where you can see the zombie face and he can see you, and they can melee through it, you can melee through it.
Quality 5 steel lunch you can get top in. There you go.
So if there was a zombie over there, we could hit it through there.
Right. So you have to target the intact pieces to finish chopping the door down.
Yeah, you might have gone 2 stages with that last hit on that one.
Yeah, you missed a couple.
Yeah, the many doors is great, but the fact that you can now target a zombie through the door, and of course the zombies can target you, well, that is just perfect. So glad that we eventually have this feature. Next, the devs showed off the new hazard system, which is targeted at beginners, but I don't always remember which tier many of the POIs are, so it's nice to have this on the interface. It gives players an overall idea of what they are getting into when they enter a particular biome, and especially a POI. They showed off a new prison POI. This is tier 5. You can see the red skulls at the top, and this tells you it is a tier 5, and the orange ones give you an idea of the biome difficulty. Next were the traders. We looked at Trader Bob and Wrecked in particular, and they gave us a very good idea of some of the changes that was made to their compounds.
Trader flags redone, White River flag, liquor packaging, magazines. There's all kinds of details. Like we redid vending machines, and Brian made every packaging like high resolution. And we probably won't be able to read it in the game, but it's so cool because if you can read that text, there's just all this new lore and details that are just jam-packed into.
So you can notice each trader has signage, look at his sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yep.
Yeah, take a good look at the sign. It was made from parts and pieces. Like he took old stuff he had laying around the shop. Those are actual car parts and mechanical parts that they use to put the sign together from.
This is what he specializes in. He's a mechanic, and if you want to get into vehicles and mechanical stuff, this is your trader to go see. So they've got parts to some vehicles that you could get later. These aren't vehicles you'll be able to loot necessarily, but it's a preview of, hey, if I keep playing the game, I might be able to get those vehicles, and it's the environmental storytelling. It's the SUV, a mini bike, and a chopper.
They also demonstrated a new Infestation Quest that you get from Tier 2. Infestation Quests are more difficult. Currently, they are tweaked to have double the number of zombies as a normal quest. So if you have a Tier 2 Infestation Quest, it should have double the number of zombies that you get in a normal Tier 2 quest. And this can be obviously balanced and tweaked later on. But for now, it is set at double the number.
So this is a simple survivor site that's been overhauled. I think Alan did the work on this one.
Oh yeah, we have new tent kits, which are incredible looking. You can see a little bit of here.
So you can see that the tier 1 is listed as a tier 1, but that already feels way worse than a tier 1. It's a tier 2 because of infestations and So yeah, you see there's more enemies. And there's a special loot crate.
Yeah,
there.
we've got.
I also noticed that limbs and heads seem to be popping off a bit more than normal, so hopefully this is happening on more than just one zombie now.
You can see the similar environment art there. There's a
They demonstrated the new learn by looting system, so now players will find magazines and loot, and while you spec, for example, into a particular weapon, you will get more magazines of that particular type. This will advance your skill in that particular type of weapon. The more books you get for it, the higher the tier you will be able to craft. Eventually, you will move on to more powerful weapons in that type. This doesn't mean you'll never receive other magazines for different types, just that you'll obtain fewer of the ones you are not actually speccing into. Apparently, even the ammunition you find in loot will likely be more to your liking if you are upgrading a particular type of weapon. While they did the demonstration, they also showed off the tracking system where you can pin a recipe to the screen, though currently it only pins one at a time. With the new Learn by Looting, you can also now craft all tiers of an item. If you have a tier 5 item level for a particular weapon, for example, you can still craft a tier 2 if you needed.
Actually, a
There you
better
go.
example for what you wanted to show, I think, might be the Stone Axe, because I can do the different
Yeah.
tiers now.
Exactly.
Well, showing that you don't have enough to do a certain quality, it kind of toggle through the amount of ingredients. You can kind of say,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have enough ingredients to do that, but I could do the one that's one level down from that.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're not stuck waiting for parts, you can craft something now with what you have.
Yeah.
Another thing is, some of you might be wondering, well, how do I, I'm not interested in bows. I'm a shotgun guy. So we've got an intelligent loot system now that when you perk into, say, shotguns, for example, you're more likely to find shotgun magazines, which will increase your shotgun skill. You'll still find maybe bow magazines, but they're just not as common for you.
It's
Yeah.
more than that. It actually says, give me more shotgun parts, more shotguns, more shotgun shells, more shotgun
Right.
magazines. The whole
Yeah.
slew if you perk
The
into
whole-
that. Yeah.
Everything, yeah. Even in traders,
Yeah.
you'll find more shotguns for sale.
Then I think we were all surprised to see the progress on the consoles. They demoed some footage from Titanium Games, a company from Australia that had been developing with the Fun Pimps. This is the first footage of 7 Days to Die running on a PlayStation 5, and it looks pretty awesome.
This is a longer video of Navigating Pearson area. You can see
This
it's
is on
Alpha 21.
console.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Alpha
PlayStation.
21 B259.
Wow.
You can see
Impressive.
you can see the PlayStation prompts there in the screen. And you can see that it has full res texture resolution and the render distance is good. It's plays like probably a reasonably good PC would play.
Amazing.
And we're still doing a lot of optimizations to make it work on there. Yes, it's coming to Xbox. I saw somebody asked. So what our plan so far it looks like PlayStation 5, Xbox S and X series will get a new product. We're trying to work with this product submission on both Microsoft and Sony to see if we can get folks who owned it already a discount on the new product. Yeah, and so we've got a short Alpha 22 plan that has some features, but we think that if things go well with Alpha 22, that will be the version 1 of the new product on console, on both consoles. And as we march towards gold, we have larger aspirations for the version to do crossplay in the gold version that has bandits, etc. But we have a team working on it, and this is evidence of that.
This is evidence of someone about to die and quickly turning off the video to hide it.
From what they said, it sounds like they are only working on the latest gen of consoles. So the older consoles, I have a feeling they're not going to concentrate on it at all. Yet again, they have done a lot more work on the random map generator. I'm pretty sure this must have taken a lot of dev time to do. Maps should generate 4 to 5 times faster in Alpha 21. There is road smoothing and now also country tiles, so paths are leading directly to driveways and the road connections are much more realistic. There is a better selection of POIs during random generation as well. This should mean that there will be fewer duplicates and overall a more diverse map. Next, Lathan did a quick explanation of Trader Stage, a new concept where what you get in the trader is associated with the level that you are on.
But then you'll see some really nice stuff.
Yeah, so we see the magazines, but most of the things that you see in here are around my level. You're not going to see a like an auto shotty or a gyrocopter. You won't see.
You'd see. If you saw a vehicle, it would be likely bicycle at this point. Or bicycle parts, and you'd see your color of a weapon and maybe a color above sometimes.
What it works out to is, hey, I'm gonna be broke all the time because there's so much good stuff that you want to buy now, and before it was just kind of random and you never bought that much stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm always broke now. And they specialize in their, in what they have to sell. So Bob's going to have more parts, vehicles, mechanical stuff than the other traders. He's got some food, but he's swimming in it like Direct is.
Better barter has been converted to interact with this trader stage, to increase your trader stage, so that you would see better loot in this trader then.
We did get rid of the secret stash, everybody. It felt like a better choice to incorporate better choices into the whole.
They went on to say that traders will now also offer you 5 options for quest rewards, just to make the rewards potentially something you actually would want. The devs also spoke about performance. Now, this is something that's been on our minds for years and years, and the devs are now nailing these particular areas.
New versions of Unity, folks from Titanium who've been assisting us work on a lot of different performance improvements. Unity version update, the latest LTS has been a big boost. There's a bunch of stuff. The guys have been working hard on window block optimizations to provide less draw calls. Trees, some of the most abusive trees were fixed to be more performant. AI can handle more zombies by throttling their activity based on distance to the player. That's a big one that is allowed for us to improve the game and do the sort of like Infestation Quest numbers. AI pathing can handle many more paths per second than it used to. The game uses less memory than before. Lots of small improvements. There's been some networking improvement to reduce net traffic and make it so that combat feels smoother. This is from Tom. Tom's done that work from Titanium. So basically, that sort of lag you would get, it prioritizes the zombies closer to you and deprioritizes the ones further than you for their net traffic. In an intelligent, sort of like a net traffic LOD system, if you will. That's all in the spirit of making the game play better and run better for performance.
Sexual Tyrannosaurus and Flurry of Blows were merged with each skill tree. So if you like sledgehammers, then you have a stamina and a speed improvement within the strength tree, which is where the sledge is actually located. You don't have to spec into agility to get the faster speeds anymore, which certainly does make sense. Each melee weapon gets its own boosts within the tree that it is located. We saw the Dew Collector. Effectively, finding bottled water is now a thing of the past. The Fun Pimps want the game to be more focused on survival when it comes to things like water. Water was too easy to find and obtain at the start, so in comes the Dew Collector. Even getting glass jars was too easy. The Dew Collector is a craftable device and gives you about 3 waters each day. The jars are non-existent, so you don't make or get empty jars when drinking the water. You can also drink murky water directly from water sources, but you likely would need a water filter to not get sick. Small lootable objects and junk will now vanish once looted. This is a quality of life update, as we all know it can be annoying to run past something and forget you already did the same thing yesterday. Yes, it has been looted. Quite annoying again and again. This update will also include those bird nests. The spear's throw ability has been killed off. Playing overall mods where this has already been done means I've been quite spoilt over the years. From Alpha 21, the spear's right-hand attack is now a power attack. No more throwing away your modded spear. I realize some won't like this, but I do believe in the long run that is very few. The spear has been buffed a bit. So, welcome everyone to the land where the spear is now a formidable weapon. Vehicle damage has been nerfed. When bumping into items, there is a more realistic damage that will happen. The fun pimps don't want you to run over zombies non-stop and not have to answer for it. So vehicle damage has been ramped up, preventing you from hitting any obstacle without consequences. Even repairs are now more costly, as it can potentially take multiple repair kits to fix a damaged vehicle. Lathan demonstrated the new Flame Hazard, which will slow you down if you try to get through it. It will likely kill you if you don't fix or remove the hazard and just try to get through it. In this case, the hazard was pretty easy to sort out, but the potential of this means a lot more can be done in POIs to make them more interesting. Water has finally received a much-needed update. It is far from perfect, but from what we can see, it is now flowing much better, easier to move through, and can even potentially be better to create swimming pools and larger water reservoirs. At least that's what they told us, but it didn't quite work out during the demo. Yet another quality of life improvement is when you are picking up items and as they go into your backpack or your inventory, a second number has been added. This indicates the total number that you have. Is your armor about to break? Armor status is displayed on the left side of the screen. Often you had no idea your armor was broken and it meant you were taking a lot more damage. At least this will help and warn you when it is about to break so that you can do something about it. Finally, when is Alpha 21 going to be released? I actually love how 2 of 3 of the developers were quite against the mere suggestion of a date. It is pretty funny how they went through the anguish of not wanting to say it, but we did get a possible idea of a release.
We move it to streamer weekend and then it goes to public experimental, but we're not going to have 7 or 8 dev streams. We'll likely have 2 to 3 more tops.
Yeah.
And as long as there's no must fix, you know, I hate to say a date, but, you know, we're hoping, you know.
Oh, don't do this.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Don't
Well,
do it.
They can, you know.
You want to so bad. I could see it. You're just like, oh, just let me say it.
But if there's a showstopper, you know.
I know. But everybody's going to be like, well, Rick said in the dev stream, he said those.
So, you know, wishful thinking is early May, I think, you know. Mid-May is probably more realistic. And if it comes out sooner, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Can't believe you did it.
Well, you know, we can't commit to that date because show-stopping bugs will you know, they have to be fixed. They can't.
He did not say May 1st. Stop it.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.